All right, so the NFL draft is about to be underway here in about 40 minutes or so. And very quickly, I just want to make this little video to talk about some of the recent rumors that's been coming out about Howie Roseman making a draft day trade and who we could possibly get, man. And so without further ado, let's jump right into it. I'm so excited that the draft is here. If you look here in this picture, the two guys you see on the screen, Brian Thomas Jr., the receiver for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And then, as you all know, we've been going after Jonathan Grenard aggressively all offseason. Well, since the beginning of the offseason, it's been rumored that Howie was trying to get another guy that could be an edge rusher, someone to add some depth to that position to give Nolan Smith some help coming off the edge, give the team an overall boost. As we all know, we need an edge replacement, especially after losing Jalen Phillips in free agency. We need somebody that can fill in that role perfectly, and they think Jonathan Grenard is the guy for that job. And if you look at his last season, statistically, you're not gonna be wowed by any of it. He had like 3 sacks total on the year, but Jonathan Grenard is a former Pro Bowler, and by getting him and giving him a new team, a fresh space, brand new area to play in, it could rejuvenate him, and you might get one of the best years from Grenard in by acquiring him now. And outside of Grenard, the reason why I bring up Brian Thomas Jr. is because I saw something on the internet talking about how he could be a potential landing spot for the Eagles if we do lose A.J. Brown in this offseason, which is looking like we already are going to do that. He's looking like he's going to be a New England Patriot, so we need to prepare for life after A.J. Brown. And Brian Thomas Jr. to me is a dream scenario. I understand that this last season he had wasn't as impressive, but if you remember the year before going into this one, Brian Thomas Jr. was one of the best receivers in the league, easily a top 10 wideout if you ask me. Had over 1,000 receiving yards, and for whatever reason, him and Trevor Lawrence just weren't online this year. It didn't work out for the both of them together, and so it's looking like we could possibly make a play to go get him. Maybe we trade our first round pick that's at the 23rd slot right now in the draft and try to go get our receiver placement now, so that we don't have to try to do this whole thing where we pick and try to find the best receiver in the draft and plug him in now, when you can go get a guy that's proven. Again, he had a down year. That's going to happen. But Brian Thomas Jr. is a good receiver. I really do believe that. And I think he'd be a solid replacement for A.J. Brown. Guy that a lot of teams have been trying to acquire the Cardinals about getting, believe it or not, is Marvin Harrison Jr. As we all know, Marvin Harris Jr. was their number one pick in the draft a season about 2 seasons ago, and that team has been dealing with horrible coaching, horrible quarterback play from Kyler Murray or Brissett. It just hasn't been consistent, really. And Marvin Harrison Jr. needs a fresh start. He needs a chance to really showcase his talents, and I think the Philadelphia Eagles could be the perfect situation for that. You're talking about bringing in a guy who's going into year 3 under his rookie contract still, and you can maybe get the best years out of him with a new scheme led by Sean Mannion, utilizing the motion and those sorts of things, those new twists that he's going to add to this offense. It could be a beautiful thing. And as we all know, Tanner McKee earlier in the offseason, it was being rumored that the Jets were trying to go get him to be their quarterback. And Arizona, they don't have a starting quarterback right now. Maybe we package Tanner McKee and a mid-round draft pick and go get Marvin Harrison Jr. I would love that too. But we also have to prepare ourselves to have a very, I don't want to say boring draft night, because draft night is exciting in general, especially if you have a first round pick. It's exciting to see what your team is going to do. But when I say boring, I mean going to get a Caden Proctor or a Blake Miller for an offensive lineman replacement for Lane Johnson, because as we know, this is his last season, so we will need to look for a replacement, and you can get ahead of that now by drafting one of those studs coming out of the draft this year. So with that being said, man, very quick video. I just wanted to hop on here real quick and let y'all know about some of the trade rumors that's being discussed right now. And with that being said, man, I'm out. Like the video, comment down below. Let's talk about the draft and the draft day results. I'll make a video on that as well. And subscribe. Peace.